what, this is kind of a two-part question. This is your last question.
Okay.
Who has had that type of impact on you and your career, and what's something that that person or somebody else has done that sticks out in your mind that you still do today because of them?
Well, the first person that comes to mind is a guy named Dave Wasapka. Dave was my manager when I was at Valley Fair. I was an operations area manager. He was actually director of operations. And Dave had a couple things that he did that I try to emulate. Number one, he was really good at sort of getting to the root cause or the heart of a matter, and I remember being in meetings where there were two other managers and Dave, so it was kind of a 4-person leadership team, and we would be going on back and forth about something, and he'd say, hold on, wait a minute. He'd say, now I think we're talking about a couple of different things, and he would be able to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Put into perspective those different topics that we were actually talking about and get us to think about those. He also, and this is going to sound a little corny, but he was also really good about getting us to look at ourselves first before we pointed the blame at somebody else. Okay? And he always did what my mom taught me, when you're pointing your finger at somebody, you've got 3 more pointing back at you. And so he really got us to think about what's been my impact. So maybe it was something with a another department, and we're complaining about those foods people, the merchandise people, and he would say, okay, now wait a minute, what about you? What did you do that might have contributed to that in a negative way or whatever? So he got us to do that. The other thing that he did, so I think it's kind of 3 main things, is that he was not afraid to jump in and learn anything that he needed to learn about the business. And I remember specifically, he inherited sort of the phone system in the park, and I think he had a little experience with it before, but all of a sudden he was now having to learn about how the phone system worked and all these different things about it. And I mean, he jumped in and he learned it. And that's something I really respected about him, and I think is something I try to emulate. If something I need to know, I got to go learn it. And I think about Dave every time I do that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Was that all the parts of your question, or was there a follow-up to that?
Well, that was just the 2 parts.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Who had that impact on you, and what's something that they did that you still do today?
Got it. Okay. Very good.
But you answered that very well.
Thank you. Well,
thanks for watching this episode of LeaderTips Q&A. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when new episodes come out. If you have a question for me, or if you'd have a question that you'd like to see addressed on a future episode, go ahead and put it in the comments. Thanks for watching.